Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about and misunderstood coins in American numismatics, the 1969 D. Lincoln penny. This coin is incredibly common in everyday circulation, yet collectors across the country are always checking their change because rare errors and special varieties from 1969 can sell for massive amounts of money. Some collectors even speculate that an extreme mint error on a 1969 D penny, in perfect condition and authenticated, could reach values as high as $1.7 million. While regular 1969 D pennies are common, the rarest errors can be worth life-changing money. Today we're covering the full story. The history of the 1969 D penny, what makes most of them ordinary, what rare varieties actually bring big money, and why some believe a perfect error example could reach over $1 million. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Section 1. History of the 1969 D. Lincoln cent. Let's start with the background. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 and features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. By 1969, the United States Mint was producing billions of coins each year, and the Denver Mint was one of the busiest in the country. The 1969 D penny still carried the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, created by Frank Gasparo. This design was used from 1959 to 2008. In 1969, the Denver Mint produced an enormous number of pennies, so the typical 1969 D coin you find in your pocket is extremely common and usually worth just 1 cent. But as usual in the coin world, the story changes when rare mint errors come into the picture. Section 2. Why some 1969 D pennies are extremely valuable. Most 1969 D pennies are not valuable, but the rarest mint errors and the highest quality examples preserved in nearly perfect condition can be worth thousands or even more. The reason some coins from this year are so valuable is that the minting process in the late 1960s was not as automated or digitally controlled as it is today. Mistakes happened, and sometimes major errors slipped through undetected. These errors can be dramatic, unusual, and one-of-a-kind, and collectors will pay a high price for them. The foundation of the $1.7 million speculation comes from the fact that other rare error coins, especially those from the 1960s, have sold for enormous amounts in previous auctions. If a unique, dramatic mint error were discovered on a 1969 D penny, and if it were preserved in the highest possible grade, it could theoretically reach that level at auction. Section 3. The most valuable 1969 D penny varieties and errors. Here are the types of rare 1969 D pennies that bring serious money. Wrong planchet errors. These are the most valuable. A wrong planchet error means the coin was struck on a blank mint for another denomination or another metal. A penny struck on a dime blank or on a foreign coin blank will look lighter, thinner, or silver in color. These mistakes can bring huge amounts of money. Major off-center strikes. If a penny is struck far off the center so that part of the design is missing but the date is still readable, collectors pay a premium. The more dramatic the shift, the higher the value. Double dies. A true double die error shows strong doubling in the letters or numbers. These errors are rare and collectible, especially when the doubling is clear on the date or the word Liberty. While the famous 1969 double die is from the Philadelphia Mint, not the Denver Mint, any strong double die example from 1969 D would still bring significant money. Clipped planchets and broad strikes. These mint errors create strange shapes where the coin looks cut, stretched, or distorted. Dramatic examples can sell for impressive amounts. High-grade mint state coins. Even without errors, a perfectly preserved 1969 D penny with flawless surfaces, full color, and bright luster can be worth far more than face value. Perfect examples are harder to find than many people think. Section 4. Why some believe a 1969 D penny could be worth $1.7 million. Now, let's talk about the big number. $1.7 million. This amount is not for normal 1969 D pennies. It is based on the idea that if a unique, dramatic, never-before-seen error were discovered on a 1969 D penny, and if it were authenticated and graded at the highest level, it could compete with the most valuable modern coin errors ever sold. Collectors have witnessed similar jumps in value before. Unique coins can reach extreme prices because they are literally the only one of their type. The world of high-end coin auctions is unpredictable, and when wealthy collectors compete for a one-of-a-kind piece, prices can climb into the millions. That's Section 5. How to know if your 1969 D penny is vanilla. So, what should you look for in your own 1969 D pennies? Check the color and weight. If the coin looks silver, thinner, or unusually light, it may be a wrong planchet error. Examine the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" for strong doubling. True doubling is crisp and bold. Look at the edges and rim for missing metal or strange shapes. Clipped planchets and broad strikes are easy to spot. Check for major off-center strikes. The more extreme the shift, the more valuable the coin. Inspect the overall condition. Sharp details, bright luster, and a lack of scratches can significantly increase value. If you find a strange or unusual 1969 D penny, do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value. Store it safely and consider sending it to a professional grading service for authentication. That's Section 6. Final thing is the 1969 D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how everyday coins can hide incredible value. While most are common and worth only 1 cent, rare errors and extremely high-grade examples can sell for hundreds, thousands, or even high six-figure and speculative seven-figure amounts. Coin collecting is exciting because hidden treasures can show up anywhere. A coin that has been sitting in a jar for 50 years could be worth far more than anyone ever expected. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy learning about valuable coins, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You never know which coin in your pocket might be worth a life-changing amount of money. If you'd like, I can also create a title, description, tags, thumbnail text, or a shorter script for YouTube Shorts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are uncovering the mystery behind one of the most talked about modern pennies in American coin history, the 1977 Lincoln cent. Most people see this coin every day and never think twice about it, but a few extremely rare versions of this penny have shocked collectors with enormous values. Some of the rarest errors are so unusual that collectors believe the right example in top condition could break the $1 million mark. And that is where the rumor of the $1.4 million 1977 penny comes from. In this video, we're exploring the full story. The history of the 1977 penny, why most are common, the rare mistakes worth thousands, and how those legendary high-value coins came to be. By the end, you'll know exactly what to look for. Section 1. History of the 1977 Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent has been in production since 1909, and by 1977 the design was well established. The obverse features the classic bust of President Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner. The reverse shows Frank Gasparo's Lincoln Memorial design, a structure honoring the president and symbolizing national unity. In 1977, the U.S. Mint struck pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, where coins carry no mint mark; Denver, which used the D mint mark; and San Francisco, which produced proof coins with the S mint mark. Hundreds of millions were made. Because of this huge mintage, ordinary 1977 pennies are very common and usually worth just 1 cent in circulated condition. But not all 1977 pennies are equal. Hidden among the millions of normal coins are a tiny handful of rare mint errors and off-metal strikes that can transform a simple copper cent into a high-value treasure. Section 2. Why some 1977 pennies are worth AFO. So, how does a 1-cent coin become worth thousands or even over $1 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and extremely unusual mint mistakes. The United States Mint uses enormous machines to strike billions of coins each year. And while quality control is very strict, mistakes do happen. A small number of coins are struck incorrectly and accidentally escape into circulation. When these major mistakes survive, collectors go crazy for them. The most valuable 1977 pennies are wrong planchet errors. These are pennies that were accidentally struck on the metal blank mint for a completely different coin. A famous example is a 1977 penny struck on a dime planchet. The coin appears thin, silver in color, and lighter than a normal cent. Because these are extremely rare and visually dramatic, collectors pay huge premiums for them. This is where the million-dollar speculation comes from. If a 1977 penny with an extreme error appeared in perfect condition, untouched from the moment it left the mint. Some collectors believe it could potentially reach or surpass the $1.4 million level. While this specific sale has not officially happened, the possibility exists because other rare error coins have achieved similarly shocking values. Section 3. The most valuable 1977 pennies here are the types of rare 1977 pennies that bring serious money. Wrong planchet strikes. These are pennies minted on dime blanks, foreign coin blanks, or other unexpected metals. They are the most valuable and the most dramatic. Off-center strikes. When a coin is struck so far off the center that part of the design is missing, the value increases. If the date is still visible, these can be worth impressive amounts. Double dies. These show real doubling in the letters or numbers on the coin. True double die errors are rare and collectible, and strong examples bring big premiums. High-grade mint state coins. Even without errors, a flawless 1977 penny with perfect surfaces and brilliant color can be worth hundreds or thousands simply because so few survive in top condition. Proof errors from San Francisco. Proof coins are supposed to be perfect, so any mistake in a proof set becomes instantly valuable. Section 4. Could your 1977 penny be worth $1 million? Most 1977 pennies are worth face value. But the fun part of coin collecting is that the rarest discoveries often come from ordinary pockets, jars, drawers, and coin rolls. If you find a 1977 penny that looks silver, lighter than normal, missing parts of the design, strangely struck, or showing strong doubling, you could have something special. Coins like this should be handled carefully and sent to a professional grading service for authentication. While the $1.4 million story is based on extreme rarity and collector speculation, history has proven many times that normal coins can turn into once-in-a-lifetime treasures. Section 5. Final to GGH tests. The 1977 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that reminds us why this hobby is so exciting. A coin that almost everyone overlooks can end up being worth an unbelievable amount of money when the right error or condition appears. Even if you never find the $1 million piece, knowing what to look for makes every handful of change a little more thrilling. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy learning about rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications. You may already have hidden treasure sitting right in your home. See you in the next video. If you want, I can also write a description, tags, or a short punchy version for shorts. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. Today's video dives into one of the most surprising modern penny stories, the 1979 Lincoln cent. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary penny that most people have handled thousands of times. But hidden among the millions of regular coins from 1979 are ultra-rare mint errors that collectors believe could push the value of a single coin into the $1 million range. Some coin experts and collectors have speculated that the right 1979 error in perfect condition could bring as much as $1.5 million. So today, we're exploring the history of the 1979 penny, why most are common, and the extraordinary errors and varieties that can push this simple copper coin into unbelievable value territory. Section 1. History of the 1979 Lincoln cent. Let's begin with the background. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, with the obverse portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. For decades, it has been one of the most produced coins in American history. In 1979, the mint was still using the Lincoln Memorial reverse design created by Frank Gasparo, a design that would remain until the 2009 bicentennial series. In 1979, the Denver Mint was extremely busy. The D-Mint mark coins were struck in massive numbers as the U.S. economy demanded heavy production. Because so many were minted, a typical 1979 penny in circulated condition is worth only face value. Even uncirculated ones are common. But the story changes when we enter the world of rare mint errors. Section 2. Why some 1979 pennies are worth the most valuable 1979 pennies are not normal coins. They are error coins, freak accidents produced when something went wrong at the mint. These errors are incredibly rare because most mistakes are caught and destroyed before the coins leave the facility. But every once in a while, one escapes. Collectors especially prize dramatic, major errors, the kind that cannot be duplicated and exist only in tiny quantities. These are the coins that cause bidding wars and eye-popping price jumps. And when an error is also in mint state condition with no wear, the value multiplies even more. That is how the legend of a $1.5 million 1979 D penny began. It is based on the possibility of an ultra-rare, high-grade, one-of-a-kind error surfacing. That's Section 3. The most valuable 1979 D penny errors here are the specific types of 1979 D pennies that bring serious money. Wrong planchet errors. These are the most valuable by far. A wrong planchet penny means the coin was struck on a blank mint for another denomination, such as a dime, a foreign coin, or even a transitional metal. These errors make the coin appear silver-colored, underweight, or oddly shaped. These can sell for extremely high prices, especially in high-grade off-center strikes. A major off-center strike where half or more of the design is missing can be worth a substantial amount, especially if the date is still visible. The more dramatic the strike, the higher the value. Double dies. A true double die obverse or reverse shows strong doubling in the letters or numbers. These are rare and highly collectible. A strong double die can bring hundreds or thousands. Broad strikes, clipped planchets, and die caps. These unusual mint errors create coins that look warped, stretched, or cut. Collectors love dramatic examples where the error is instantly visible. High-grade mint state coins. Even without errors, a perfect 1979 D penny in extremely high grade can be worth a good amount because flawless coins from this year are harder to find than people think. That's Section 4. Where the $1.5 million value comes from now, let's talk about the big number, $1.5 million. No regular 1979 D penny is worth anywhere near that amount. But in the world of rare coins, there are cases where extreme error coins have sold for life-changing money. If a 1979 D penny were discovered with a never-before-seen mistake and happened to be in pristine condition, collectors believe it could reach that kind of price at auction. This speculation is based on past sales of rare errors where unusual characteristics, combined with a high grade, created a perfect storm of value. Because 1979 had heavy production and high-speed machinery, it is entirely possible that a few dramatic errors escaped detection. And if a unique and spectacular error were found today, it could theoretically approach the million-dollar level. Section 5. How to know if your 1979 D penny is so? What should you look for? Check the weight. If the coin feels unusually light or looks silver instead of copper, it may be a wrong planchet error. Examine the rim and edges. Errors like clipped planchets leave obvious cuts or missing metal. Look for major off-center strikes. The more the design is shifted, the more valuable it becomes. Check the date and letters for strong doubling. Real double dies are crisp and obvious, not blurry or faint. Inspect the coin's condition. The cleaner and more perfect it is, the higher the value. If your 1979 D penny looks strange, unusual, or simply different from the rest, handle it carefully. Do not clean it. And consider sending it to a professional grading service for evaluation. Section 6. Final page is the 1979 D Lincoln penny is a reminder that even modern coins can hide enormous value. While most are common and worth only face value, a rare few carry mint mistakes so dramatic that their value jumps into the thousands or even the speculative million-dollar range. Every day, people find rare coins in jars, drawers, and old collections. Your next valuable discovery might be sitting in your pocket right now. So keep searching, stay curious, and always look closely at your coins. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into rare pennies, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video about hidden treasures that might already be in your home. If you want, I can also write your description, title ideas, tags, or a shorter dramatic TikTok or YouTube short script. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most surprising modern pennies that collectors are constantly checking their change for, the 1989 D Lincoln cent. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies that year, but hidden among the common coins are rare mint errors and high-grade examples that can bring huge amounts of money at auction. In fact, some collectors speculate that an extreme, one-of-a-kind 1989 D Mint error, if discovered in perfect condition, could push the value of a single coin into the $1.6 million range. While regular 1989 D pennies are ordinary, the rarest errors and flawless examples tell a very different story. Today we're breaking down the full history of the 1989 D penny, why most are common, the rare varieties worth thousands, and the origin of the $1.6 million speculation. Get ready, because you may never look at your pocket change the same way again. Section 1. History of the 1989 D. Lincoln Cent. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln Cent was introduced in 1909 and features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse in 1989 still displayed the Lincoln Memorial design created by Frank Gasparo. This design would remain until 2008. The year 1989 was a high-production year for the Denver Mint. The demand for coins was strong, and the minting machinery was running at full speed. As a result, the 1989 D penny is extremely common. In circulated condition, most examples are worth just 1 cent, but the story doesn't end there. Even in years of massive production, rare and dramatic mint errors slip through, and these mistakes can create coins worth many thousands of dollars. Section 2. Why some 1989 D pennies are worth AF. The key to understanding value is rarity. Most 1989 D pennies are ordinary, but a tiny number have errors that make them unique. The minting process in the late 1980s was efficient, but not perfect. A dramatic mistake could occur at any moment, and if it escaped quality control, it ended up in circulation. Collectors pay enormous amounts for rare, visually stunning errors because these coins are impossible to duplicate. And when a dramatic error is found in mint state condition with bright luster and no wear, the value increases dramatically. This is where the idea of a $1.6 million value comes from. Collectors believe that if a previously unknown, extremely dramatic error from 1989 desurfaced in the highest grade, it could reach that level at auction. High-end collectors compete aggressively for unique pieces, and modern error coins have already set record prices in recent years. Section 3. The most valuable 1989 D penny errors. Now, let's talk about the types of rare errors that make 1989 D pennies worth serious money. Wrong planchet errors. These are the most valuable. A penny struck on a dime blank, a foreign coin blank, or the wrong metal altogether will appear thinner, lighter, or silver-colored. These mistakes are extremely rare and can bring thousands of dollars. Major off-center strikes. A coin struck far off the center, missing a huge part of the design, becomes very valuable when the date is still visible. The more dramatic the error, the more collectors will pay. Double dies. A true double die error shows clear doubling on the date, letters, or phrases like Liberty or In God We Trust. Strong double dies attract significant collector interest. Broad strikes and die caps. These create coins that look stretched, expanded, or mushroom-shaped, and dramatic examples bring big premiums to high-grade mint state examples. Even without errors, a perfect 1989 D penny graded at the highest levels can sell for surprising amounts because flawless modern coins are tougher to find than people realize. A penny with full luster, sharp details, and no marks is much rarer than the millions of average coins. Section 4. Where the $1.6 million value comes from. Let's address the giant number, $1.6 million. This price is based on theoretical maximums, rare coin history, and auction trends. It does not apply to normal 1989 D pennies. Instead, it is the estimated potential value of a once-in-a-lifetime error if such a coin were discovered. Collectors have seen unique modern errors climb to 6-figure and 7-figure levels when they combine rarity, visual shock value, historical importance, and perfect condition. That's why the possibility exists that the right 1989 D coin could reach the $1 million zone if it were stunning enough and authenticated. Section 5. How to know if your 1989 D penny is in a year is what you should look for. Check the color and weight. If your penny looks silver, lighter, or oddly thin, it could be a wrong planchet error. Examine the design. Look for major off-center strikes, missing sections, or unusually wide planchets. Look closely at the date and lettering. Strong doubling means you may have a valuable double die. Inspect the rim. Clipped planchets leave a curved section missing from the coin. Check the condition. A flawless, bright, mint state coin is always worth more than a worn one. If you find a strange or unusual coin, Do not clean it. Cleaning destroys value. Handle it carefully and consider sending it to a grading service for professional verification. That's Section 6. Final page is the 1989 D. Lincoln penny proves that even modern coins from recent decades can hold incredible value. While most are worth only 1 cent, rare mint errors and flawless examples can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even enter the speculative million-dollar category. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and hidden treasures often surface in the most unexpected places. The next rare 1989 D penny might already be sitting in a jar, a drawer, or a forgotten roll of coins. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy learning about rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your next valuable discovery could be closer than you think. If you want, I can also create your video title, thumbnail text, description, tags, or a short YouTube short script.